After more than 50 years, a South Korean court has ordered the state to take accountability for the atrocities committed by South Korean troops during the Vietnam War. On Tuesday, the Seoul Central District Court ruled in favor of a Vietnamese national seeking compensation from the South Korean government. In 1968, the victim lost her family members and suffered injuries in an attack by South Korean troops in her village of Bong Ni in Vietnam during the war. Some 70 innocent civilians were killed in the massacre, which was reported to be conducted by the 2nd Marine Brigade of the South Korean Marines who were fighting alongside U.S. troops in the Vietnam War. And in 2020, one of the surviving victims, Wang Ting-tan, who was now in her 60s, filed a lawsuit against the South Korean government, demanding compensation and an apology for the mass killings committed by South Korean troops during the war. The victim claimed that she lost her family members and sustained gunshot wounds herself on that fateful day and sought a compensation of some 30 million won in damages. And based on the testimonies of veterans and villagers who witnessed the mass killing, the Seoul court on Tuesday ruled in favor of the victim and ordered the South Korean government to compensate the amount along with interest. With the ruling, the court rejected the South Korean government's argument that it was immune to such claims by a Vietnamese national based on an agreement signed between Vietnam, South Korea, and the United States. It also rejected the government's claims that the South Korean troops' involvement in the killings was hard to prove. After the ruling came out, the victim expressed her excitement through her lawyers.
Tôi nghe được tin thắng kiện thì tôi rất là vui mừng và phấn khởi, và tôi biết những cái linh hồn đó đã theo tôi và ủng hộ tôi để làm nên bây giờ là những linh hồn nó được.
The ruling marks the first time that a South Korean court has found the country responsible for the mass killings of Vietnamese civilians during the war and could potentially pave the way for other victims to seek compensation as well. In response to the ruling, South Korea's foreign ministry said that the governments of South Korea and Vietnam are closely communicating with each other on various pending issues to build a future-oriented relationship.